Thanks for coming to my channel, The Kevin E. I am Kevin E. West, veteran guest star television actor and the president and founder of the award-winning business actor organization, The Actors Network, as well as, the author of 7 Deadly Sins, The Actor Overcomes. And I'm going to take a wild guess that you're here because you would either like to make some money at performing,
Look, we're backing you up.
or build an actual career.
I'm looking at you.
And we all have to deal with the business of show business. Well, you've come to the K train because we've got 7 playlists for you to deal with. So let me take my chair here real quick, sit down, and talk with you about what we've got going on.
I'll tell you exactly what you'll find.
Now, to make sure you understand a little bit about me, I realize it's really possible you already know me. Maybe you came to Los Angeles and left. Maybe you were here and you're still here.
Pretty good story, right?
But since about 2008, 2010 or thereabouts, this profession since then has become truly global. And I'm going to hope in a certain way that most of the folks who come here don't know me. And therefore it's imperative. Now, yes, you can certainly go to IMDb and look up Kevin E. West. You can certainly go to kevinewest.com and check me out.
I know the stories.
You can do all of those things. But what's imperative for you to realize is that I founded the Actors Network, a business organization, on May 1st, 1991. And all through those years, I not only was working and building my own career, but I was hyper-focused on the expertise, the true expertise of what it takes to pursue the business of show business and show business education.
It's a new world.
And that is partly why the Actors Network won awards. It also won awards, you guys, because we had a couple of really key mantras. And those mantras about that organization are not only sincere, near and dear to my heart, but they're also part of what's going to make up this channel and what you're going to get from me and or anybody that I have in any content on this channel. And those 2 mantras are really important to you. And they are this. The first one was, help us, help you, help all of us. And yes, I did that for the Actors Network long before the movie Jerry Maguire, just so you know.
Just shut up.
Because I personally believe that while artists have a type, and in the business we're always dealing with that in terms of casting, I also think we're very unique, quite frankly. And there is no one like you, and no 2 people go in and audition and do the same thing. So I firmly believe in artists actually helping each other. The second mantra is the one that really governs me and governs this channel, which is learn from the mistakes of others. You're not going to live long enough to make them all yourself. Eleanor Roosevelt. And that is exactly what I'm here for. I intend to provide over the course of time the greatest encyclopedia on the business of show business ever seen on the globe. I did it for nearly 24 years with the Actors Network, and now I get the chance, because of digital technology, to provide this to everyone, everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be in Miami, Dallas, Atlanta, London, Paris, Sydney, Melbourne. It makes no difference. But with that said, it's also important to understand that this business is really subjective. And I don't know what level you're at. I don't know what part of this profession and performing you're focused on. So because of those differences, and they're not just small differences, they're large differences, it's really important that we spend a quick few minutes here before you jump into the playlist and make sure that you know what's going on as you get to each one, okay? So let's hop on the K train, and here we go. Now, first and foremost, I call the whole channel Verbal Cues. And you might go, well, what's the cue, Kevin? Well, it's just being silly and it's just being cute. My initials, Kevin E. West, are KEW. And a lot of people around Hollywood and various places call me Q. So when you hear me use what sounds like the letter Q, I'm really just talking about Kevin E. West. Just as a little outlier for you to understand as we go through this. So the whole channel is Verbal Cues, right? Now, the first channel is the one you're liable to spend the most time on, because that's going to be the instructional, educational playlist of the channel called Q-Tips. Always make sure you check out the how-to video, because I always spend a couple of minutes on at least 5 of the 7 playlists we have on the channel explaining how to think about and how to use the playlist of the content that's there. Because this profession, you guys, the difficulty in it is that it's so subjective, man. Yes, there are some tangible, some objective things to it, but part of the challenge of pursuing the business of show business is it's so subjective. And so I want to make sure when you go to watch content on a particular playlist on this channel, Verbal Cues, that you know how to think about what you're about to watch and hear, okay? Because I always say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. So how you listen and how you use the content I provide is incredibly important to me. So playlist number 1 is Q-Tips, and that's educational, instructional. Playlist number 2 is IG Live, and that's because we can use Instagram. You can find me there, The Kevin E. It's the same name as the channel here. You can use Instagram to be able to pop on and do a real fast, fresh, quick topic. Maybe something that's current news, maybe something that's valuable. I'm heavily involved in SAG-AFTRA, and I'm an elected delegate and all those things, and I've been chairs of committees, and so a lot of times there are subjects or concepts that come up, boom, and I want to pop on and I want to do a live. So that's what that playlist is for. So it's still educational, instructional, but a lot of times it's just a snippet of something that I want to cover real quick. Now, playlist number 3 is what we like to call 2 on Q, because obviously I've been interviewed a lot over my time, both as an actor and also as the founder of the Actors Network, and I personally find it interesting that when someone's asking me questions, sometimes the idea of how I answer stuff and how I provide thoughts on that particular subject seem to be a little different than rather me just coming up with a topic and presenting it to you, which you'll find on Q-Tips in playlist 1. So that's what playlist 3 is. Now, playlist 4, you might spend a lot of time on, because that's me asking questions. It's called Q&A, because some years ago I invented a series with industry players called ActorBizGuru.com. As a matter of fact, it won the Backstage West Award for the #1 online education tool for actors.
Actor Biz Guru is exactly the kind of information that I wish I would have had before I came out to LA.
And there you're going to find 45 top professionals. We're talking about directors, agents, managers, casting, etc.
We sign people for a reason. We think they're talented. We think there's something about them that we want to represent them.
And they're just incredible. And please know, also as time goes by, I'm going to be adding to that playlist as well. So that's what playlist 4 is. Playlist number 5 is near and dear to my heart. Why? Because of the word subjectivity. They're called inner cues. There's a reason for this, because there's an immense amount of our profession, not just for us as people, you guys, but psychologically and philosophically. So a lot of the concepts that I cover in my book, along with the fact that a lot of what I talk about always comes back to your mindset, how you think, how you approach the pursuit, and I mean the real pursuit of this profession. Not just going on auditions, not just getting a representative, but really pursuing this profession. So the inner cues part for me is really important. So when you're looking for philosophy, you're looking for a way to approach a few concepts that I have in there with just a sort of different mental state, that's where you want to go, playlist number 5. Now, playlist 6 is based on events and programs and promos, because I've done live events. I'm going to do live events again. Eventually, I'm probably going to do some global live streaming events. So the pieces of content there, and again, the same thing. When I go to present to a large group of people, just some of what I say and how it comes off, because I'm an ex-stand-up comic, I'm kind of a smart aleck, stuff just comes flying out of me in different ways. You're going to find sort of similar subjects presented differently. So I wanted to make sure I kept the events part out. Playlist 6 probably is not going to have a how-to video to it, just as playlist 7 won't, because playlist 7 is Q2. That would be excerpts from all the shows that I've done. And I keep that current, however, until such time that I'm able to go all the way back and get some of my beta tape and VHS tape converted over into digital. Every single show that I've ever done is not there, but I do keep most of them current. And on all of these guys, you can like, share, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and also you can comment, ask questions. I'm happy to engage with you about it. And so that's a little bit about the playlists themselves, but the idea of the whole channel in general is to take away for yourself that I'm not everybody, and I get that. I truly, truly do. And one of the ways that I'm different about how I speak is I talk a lot in metaphors.
You look green to the gills. Can you handle this?
And I gotta tell you that now because I don't want you to get all the way into the channel and go, what the hell is Kevin talking about? So I use 4 common metaphors when I talk about the pursuit of this profession because I personally happen to think they're incredibly important and accurate. One of those metaphors is going grocery shopping. And one of those metaphors is going shoe shopping. And one of those metaphors is your house. And the last one is, which is the one I use all the time and I'm pretty known for, are making dating metaphors and dating analogies about the subjectivity and the mood-based timing and chemistry of this crazy profession we call show business. And it's important for you to know that before you get into the playlist so you know what's coming. At the end of the day, now that you've come to Verbal Cues, you found at the Kevin E, and now you know a little bit about Kevin E. West, the longtime professional who's been a longtime expert at the business of show business. I want you to understand this. Ultimately, my desire is for you to simply succeed.
Kind intentions come from a good heart.
And I want you to succeed beyond me. And I want you to be able to do it saving years of your life, tons of anxiety and stress or emotional discourse within yourself, as well as discord with others and the industry, because it's a tough profession. Doesn't matter what city you're in. The one thing I know today is, yes, there are little contract wrinkles between our union here in the United States and maybe something that happens in Australia or something that happens in the UK, but I know this. The people on the other side of the desk from us, casting agents, managers, producers, writers, directors, etc., this profession evolves exceptionally similarly across the globe. And so the subjectivity and the stuff that I talk about and the things that I discuss on how to pursue things matter globally. That doesn't mean that sometimes I'm not going to confuse you a little bit, that sometimes I'm not going to challenge you a little bit, that sometimes I may even irritate you and piss you off just a little bit. And that's okay, because that's what Coach Q is supposed to do. I'm not necessarily for everybody. But either way, when it's all said and done, and you start going through the entire set of these playlists and the content here, know one thing, and I don't want you to forget it. I am on your side. Okay? Here's to success. Dive in and make sure no matter where you're starting, if the playlist has an how-to, please make sure you watch the how-to before you start watching the content. All right, guys. Here we go. Hop on the K train. We rolling on Verbal Cues.